Well, this is fun. We've been waiting for this for a long time. We got KROQ listener Jack in the studio with us, and alongside him, guitarist of the band Radiohead, Ed O'Brien, lead singer Thom Yorke have joined us back at the studios of KROQ. Hey, guys. Morning.
We asked Thom if he remembered the last time he came in. I don't remember when it was. I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago, and he said not in the least. I don't remember that in the least.
How was the Hollywood Bowl? You'd never played there before? What'd you think of it?
Oh.
Do you pay attention to the places you play, or is it just another place to play?
They just wheel us in.
Just wheel you in, wheel you out.
Wheel you out.
It kind of gets to all be the same.
No, not at all. No. It would be the same. It would be the same if it was like all SFX and we were playing sheds. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it's a nice, I think we understand the cultural significance. Even we understand the cultural significance of the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful venue, and you can't stand on stage and not think the Doors played here, the Beatles played here. I mean, it really does.
Monty Python.
Tom and Jerry was the main thing, really.
Really?
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. That cartoon, where Jerry's playing the piano and
Right, sure.
And then it falls apart.
Jack, you said you had some questions maybe about the show that you saw last night as our KROQ listener correspondent. I'm going to turn it over to you for a minute.
What do you guys do when you're coming up with the set list?
We have things that work, and then we have things that don't work.
And you pick the things that work? If I could just guess?
Mostly.
If you don't mind
not always.
You don't mind always.
Are there any songs that are difficult for you to perform live because there was so much work involved in them in the studio?
Like 80%?
Yeah. Some of them are pretty tough.
How different are they when you play them?
But it's not necessarily the case. Sometimes you find that actually it's relatively simple. It might be done on a computer, but you can still play it because it's notes and ting.
Well, you made that very one of the guys in the band. I don't remember who made that very funny comment in the Rolling Stone cover story recently that said, when we're going through and learning the songs to play on stage, we feel like a Radiohead cover band, like we're listening to our own records and trying to figure out how we can reproduce that on stage. And I'd never really heard anyone describe it that way before. It sounded like a big task.
Is that a big task, Ed?
It's a big task for about 3 weeks, and then we have some time off, and we think about it, and then we go on tour.
Time off is really the key with you guys.
I think a lot of
isn't it?
Yeah, obviously you need time to think.
Right.
Inwardly digest.
So now you're taking some time off. You got a couple of weeks off. What are you going to do with it? You just going to go back and hang out?
Yeah, I'm going to hang.
That's it?
I'm going to hang. I could read a book.
Yeah.
Maybe change some nappies.
Well, I was going to say, especially in your case, Tom, with the youngster just coming this year, it must just be awful for you to be away as long as you have been on this tour.
Yeah.
It is. Okay. Ed, what are you going to do?
What am I going to do? I don't know. What am I going to do?
You not know
come
that?
on.
That's all you have is
something.
free time, for God's sakes. What do you do?
I don't know. I'm going to sleep. I want to sleep. I'm thinking about
just get some rest because you haven't been to bed yet.
Yeah.
Why did you guys make the decision to jump back on the treadmill and do a good-sized tour this time around? Was it just because you had enough rest that you felt like you could handle it, or are you approaching it in a different way from the way that it had happened before that was so crushing for you?
A good-sized tour? Oh, that wasn't the idea at all.
For you guys.
We thought it was small price.
Well, no, it's not 200 dates or anything, but I mean, you're going across the country a couple of times.
Okay. Well, it's because obviously, America understands us. And we've always loved America, so we...
So you'll let it...
That's what it wasn't it? What was the thing we had about it? No.
So you'll let it...
They basically, our management enticed us to playing these very beautiful places.
Do you do birthday parties, bar mitzvahs, anything like that if somebody wanted to call? Are you
available?
They
obviously have to be rich. And,
very
extremely famous and, want to advance our career in some way.
Would you mind if we took a few phone calls? If we
I think you should.
Had the listeners, 1-800-520-1067.
Jack was asking you a question off air, and I'll take the embarrassment off of him and ask you myself for the listeners, because I thought it was a great question, and I was wondering, too, what you think of these bands that have followed in the wake of the success of Radiohead, who sound so much like you, and I'm thinking of groups like Travis, groups like Coldplay, that obviously have been influenced by you. You have time for them at all, or no?
See, I'm going to change the answer now, obviously.
I like the answer you gave when we were off the air.
Oh.
Go ahead and give that one.
Tom.
Okay, well, it's the choice between, a machine gun or pistol by, execution.
Oh, now that's just not nice.
Well,
do you not like their songs? Or
no, they're fine, I mean, everybody's influenced by everybody else. We steal blatantly, and so why not? But, I don't have their records in my house.
Right.
Do you have their records in your house?
You.
No,
there you go. So that's the honest answer.
All right.
All right, fair enough.
Where's your favorite place to play so far? Is there any place you haven't been that you want to play, or what's the best venue that you've been to?
I'd like to go to South America.
Yeah?
Yeah.
South America?
Yeah.
Brazil.
What,
Rio and that.
What percentage of the time do you come off the stage and say, I'm really happy with that show. That show was great. I really thought we nailed it tonight. Do you feel like that a lot or not a lot?
The tour we've just been doing, there's been quite a lot of sort of like, yeah, that was good. You know, when we were touring on OK Computer, it was not like that. You know,
not
come off stage going, well, we'd never say anything about the gig because we just as I was saying, like just before, you get to a stage where you just stop listening, you just want to go home and you can play whole shows like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that sucks because people can say they've come to see you, but you don't want to be there, and in the end, everybody loses.
We'll take some calls. 1-800-520-1067 if you want to get in and have a question for the guys from Radiohead on KROQ.
Say good morning to Eric in Long Beach. Hello, Eric.
Hi, yeah. I was just wondering if they're planning to come around again and maybe play larger venue.
No. Larger? Man, that was too large. As it was.
Last time you guys came, I tried twice to get tickets. Both times unsuccessfully.
I'm sorry.
It's just...
Well, the truth is, it is tough for Radiohead fans because you play places like the Santa Barbara Bowl or the Greek or the Hollywood Bowl, and what people want is a chance to go see you, and not everyone can.
Yeah, but I think that you have to offset that against the fact that a lot of the large venues are just not very good.
They don't
not
sound good?
Yeah, a lot of the time, you pay to see someone, and they're, you're simply paying to see them, rather than and it being a good show, or you feeling genuinely involved, or all that sort of stuff. And we just sort of have certain parameters that we're not, we won't compromise with, because it's got to be a good show. It's got to be the right thing, man. Because you could tour forever, but it doesn't do us any good. But as a band, you only do it for a while, and then you can't do it no more because it does your head in.
Tom, we've had the chance to ask Ed this in the past, but I want to pose the same question to you. I understand that these records that you made that did deviate a little bit from the Radiohead sound that we were familiar with, I'm talking about the last two, Amnesiac and Kid A, were records that you had to make and records that the band enjoyed making and putting out. What expectations did you have for how they were going to be received?
Well, I think by the time we finished them, it was like, well... Everything else was a bonus, they were so hard to complete. It really wasn't an issue. We really didn't care anymore. By the time we got to finish, it was like, look, everybody, we managed to finish them. All right, everything else is sort of not really
everything
relevant.
else is gravy. The end result was a record that you were happy with, and if it sold, that would just be a bonus, is how you looked at it.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can understand that. All right, 1-800-520-1067 is the number. Let's take John's call from Santa Monica because he's calling about some of the new music that you performed at the Hollywood Bowl.
All right, John, hello.
Hey, how you doing, guys? True Love Waits was just mind-blowing. Are you guys ever going to plan on recording that?
I thought that was a pretty good version. If you know what I'm trying to say. It's not like we're going to suddenly put a bloody great big orchestra on it or something. So, I don't know. We've tried a million different ways to do it, and I think that's sort of the best at the moment.
Now, it sounds like you may be hinting that there could be a live record in our future. Can you elaborate on that at all?
No, maybe just that song. I thought that one from last night was pretty damn good.
Shall we get a warm, fuzzy story from Jennifer?
All right, Jennifer, hello.
Hi.
Hi, you're on with the guys.
Hi, I just wanted to let them know that I got engaged to Karma Police last night.
What? You mean while they were playing it on stage?
Really?
Yep, my boyfriend got down on one knee during Karma Police.
What, in the gig?
Yeah, okay, you didn't sort of say, shut up, I'm trying to listen to the song or anything. That's
what did you accept?
It was yes, I said yes.
Well done. Why at a Radiohead concert? Was there some significance for you there?
I'm a big fan. Actually, we're both a big fan. And we went to the Greek show and to the Santa Barbara show, and I think he had just been kind of toying with the idea in his head. So Karma Police came on, and he starts talking to me about karma. Do I believe in karma? And do I believe that good things happen to good people? And then he got down on one knee. And
Oh, that's sweet.
what are you doing?
And the guys from the band are like, will you please stop talking? We're playing a song here.
Security.
Get him out.
That's great. No, that's great.
Congratulations, Jennifer.
So did you
Special.
did you kiss then later on in that?
Yes.
Were you playing around for the rest of the gig? I bet you were.
You were annoying the people behind.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
you
bet.
were. All right.
Excellent.
Thank you, Jennifer. All right, let's take another quick break if you guys don't mind. We'll take a few more phone calls if we can
Sounds
squeeze
like a
them
good
in.
idea.
1-800-520-1067, and we'll come back with the guys from Radiohead next.
Now, who went to see Janet Jackson in concert recently?
I went to see Janet Jackson.
That was Ed.
And how was that, Ed?
It was very interesting. It's I've never been to anything like that in my life.
It wasn't
And-
much like a Radiohead show, was it?
No, but it was actually. I went with Phil and Colin, and Colin left halfway through because he was really hungry. But Phil and I stayed out to the end, and we laughed. We spent a lot of time smiling and laughing, and it was, it's very, very professional. It's like a sort of a West End musical.
Yeah.
It's very, very. There's loads of costume changes. The band are going up on these risers, and
Right.
and lots of dancing, and Janet's pretty fit. She's. she looks great.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
you guys do obviously a totally different kind of show, but it seems equally exhausting. I mean, it does seem like hard work the way you guys play in concert.
Yeah, but nothing compared to Janet, man. She really sweats.
When you
You
get
don't
off,
have to dance and sing at the same time, right?
when you get off stage, is it just tiring as hell? Or no?
Yeah. Mm.
I mean, I imagine you're exhausted at least.
Oh, last night, completely knackered. Just, because it's the end of the tour as well.
Right.
And there's a psychological thing that it's all sort of, the brain goes into meltdown after the third glass of champagne or whatever.
Tom's has gone into meltdown, I can tell you that right now.
It did. About 2 o'clock it's 2 o'clock this morning, yeah.
These guys are going right back to bed after this interview, can you tell? Let's take a couple more quick calls, 1-800-520-1067. I want to get to Will's question. I don't know if Will from HB knows something that we don't, but Will, good morning. Welcome to KROQ. You're on with the guys from Radiohead.
Hi. I heard that throughout OK Computer,
Yeah.
you guys were smoking a lot of weed.
No.
Not true.
It's illegal,
What made you think that?
Yeah,
what made you think that, Will?
Why, Will?
Yeah.
In a book. I read it in some book.
You mustn't.
In like Virgin Records or something.
You see? You can't trust those people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, we just don't approve
Does
of
it
that
sound
sort.
like a record of people who smoke pot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that sound like a record of people who smoke pot?
Yeah, it kind of does.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Well, that's totally by accident.
Thanks for the call. Hey, I wanted to ask you a couple of other things. My man Kevin here is leaving for Ireland. He's going to see U2 at the castle, the Slane Castle. Do you have much experience in Ireland? Any tips you can give us on things that we must do or see?
There's a limit to how much Guinness you should drink on the first night.
Yeah. What's the limit?
3.
3. Ah.
Sounds like not much.
It does, yeah, you're right. But it's
But a
more.
Guinness is a meal in itself.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's so much better there than it is here, though.
it's-
Here it's awful, I think.
Over
But
there,
there
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is good.
And
They
you can mix
actually
it-
deliberately they deliberately poison the stuff in Britain, don't they?
Yeah.
Which is understandable.
Let's squeeze in another phone call. Let's say good morning to, is it Mara?
It's Mara.
Mara, hi, you're on with the guys.
Hi, Ed.
Hi.
I was wondering if there was any chance of you singing lead vocals on a future Radiohead song
Yes.
rather than just doing backup.
What?
I bloody hope not.
Ed. No, there's a very good chance.
Not from my angle. Not from my.
Can you sing?
Not really.
There's this track that R.E.M. did, Light Switch Pageant, the album? Remember that?
Yeah,
Sure.
Superman, where Mike sings the lead vocals. It's
Right.
brilliant. Yeah, we've got to do something like that.
Well, for every example like that, though, there's the Awful Police albums where they used to give each of the guys who wasn't Sting a track on the album, and that
That's
was
true.
always the one you fast-forwarded through on your cassette.
Behind My Camel by Andy Summers was not a particularly good number on
exactly what
Zenyatta
I'm-
Mondata.
Right,
Yeah.
so sometimes the guy who's the lead singer is the lead singer for a reason.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Now, after this tour is over, are you going to take a long hibernation, or what do you think will happen next?
yeah, long hibernation.
Yeah.
Very long, very, very, very long.
And by very, very,
Very
very
long.
long, what are you talking about?
At least 6 months.
6 months.
6 months. I'm going to get a book. I'm going to sit down and change some nappies. That's about it.
It was such good news when the Radiohead Rolling Stone cover story came out a few weeks ago to read how optimistic, and no pun intended, how optimistic everybody is about the future of the band, and how after all you've been through that seemed difficult, everybody's in a happy place now. You're delighted with the music you're making. You've managed to figure out a way to balance your personal life and your professional life, and there's no reason why Radiohead shouldn't stay together for many, many years.
I know, revolting, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, we're happy about that.
We were happy. We were happy to see that because it sounded for a while like you guys were so miserable you just didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You're an important...
That was sickeningly, revoltingly happy. Disgusting, isn't it? Absolutely foul. I feel sick myself.
Ed?
Yes.
You feel sick? Yes?
No, great. Really good.
Feel
We're in a nice place.
We're in a happy place.
Well, that's a nice way to end the interview. Then is in a happy place. So, really, it's
is that over?
Unless you want to hang around and take some more phone calls.
Oh,
it's up to you.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, listen, if you want to stick around, we got time.
No, it's okay.
He's just being difficult.
Now he's realizing that that's the last thing he wants to do.
It's just that coming off of working last night and you got to fly today, we really appreciate you squeezing us in right in the middle. We know it was a lot to ask, and it was very cool of you guys to stop by, and we really have enjoyed catching up with you again. It's been cool. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thom Yorke, Ed O'Brien, thank you.